Most older people don't live long after age 70 for these three reasons. A lot of people dream about growing old, sitting back, and enjoying life after years of hard work. But here's the tough truth. Most people don't make it very far past 70. And even if they do, many struggle with health problems that make life less enjoyable. You might be thinking, wait a second, people are living longer these days. That is true in some cases, but there is a reason why so many still do not make it much past this age. Actually, not just one reason. There are three big ones, and once you understand them, you might just be able to avoid falling into the same trap. The first reason is something most people ignore until it is too late. It is not some complicated medical condition or rare disease. It is movement, or rather, the lack of it. The human body is made to move. But somewhere along the way, modern life has made it easier and easier to avoid it. After retirement, people tend to slow down even more. There are fewer reasons to get up and go, fewer places to be, and suddenly, a body that used to be moving every day starts spending most of its time sitting. Muscles weaken, joints stiffen. The heart does not get the workout it needs. Before long, walking even a short distance feels like a struggle. And once that happens, people move even less. It turns into a downward spiral. The body starts shutting down bit by bit. The heart, the lungs, the bones, everything gets weaker. It is not just about staying active. It is about survival. The second reason hits just as hard, but most people do not see it coming. It is loneliness, and it is a silent killer. People might laugh at the idea that feeling lonely could actually shorten a person's life. But science says otherwise. Studies show that loneliness is just as dangerous as smoking or obesity. Humans are social creatures. That never changes, no matter how old someone gets. When people lose their social connections, it is not just about missing a friendly chat or a family gathering. The brain actually starts to suffer. Stress levels go up. The immune system weakens. The risk of diseases like Alzheimer's and heart problems increases. And yet, loneliness is one of the most overlooked health risks for older people. Friends move away or pass on. Families get busy. And suddenly, days are spent in silence. This takes a huge toll, both mentally and physically. It is one thing to be alone. It is another to feel isolated. And the body can only handle that for so long before it starts giving up. The third reason is sneaky because it is something many people believe they have under control. It is diet. A lot of older people assume that because they're eating the same way they always have, they must be doing fine. But the truth is, the body changes with age, and so do its needs. The metabolism slows down. The digestive system works differently. The body absorbs nutrients in a different way. And yet, most people do not adjust their diet to match those changes. Many keep eating the same processed foods. They do not get enough protein. They eat too much sugar and salt. The result? The body does not get what it needs to stay strong. Muscles break down faster. The heart gets weaker. Blood sugar levels go out of control. And because bad eating habits often do not cause immediate problems, they get ignored until the damage is already done. Food is fuel. But if the fuel is low quality, the engine will not last very long. So what is the solution? The good news is it is not as complicated as people think. It all starts with small, daily habits. First, move more. Not just at the gym, but in everyday life. Walk to the store instead of driving. Stretch in the morning. Take the stairs instead of the elevator. The goal is not to become a marathon runner. It is simply to keep the body working the way it was designed to. Second, do not let loneliness take over. Stay connected, whether it is through family, friends, or even a local community group. Make sure there are people to talk to and spend time with. If social circles have shrunk, build new ones. Volunteering, joining a class, or even chatting with neighbors can make a huge difference. Third, pay attention to what goes on the plate. Eat more whole foods. Get enough protein to keep muscles strong. Cut down on processed foods that drain energy instead of giving it. And most importantly, do not wait until health starts failing to make these changes. The best time to start is always right now. These are the top foods that help people over 70 stay healthy. Eating well has always been important, But after 70, it becomes even more critical. The body changes. The way food is processed changes. And unfortunately, many people keep eating the same way they did in their younger years without realizing that their needs have shifted. This leads to all kinds of issues: weak muscles, slower digestion, less energy, higher risk of illnesses. It is no surprise that many older adults start feeling like their bodies are working against them. But here is the thing: a lot of these problems can be traced back to what is on the plate. One of the biggest mistakes older adults make is not getting enough protein. When people think of protein, they often picture bodybuilders and gym workouts. But protein is not just about building muscle. It is about keeping the body strong, repairing tissues, and maintaining energy levels. As people age, muscle mass naturally decreases. This makes daily activities harder: walking, lifting things, even standing up from a chair. It all gets more difficult when muscles weaken. The solution? Eat more protein. Good sources include eggs, chicken, fish, beans, and dairy products like Greek yogurt and cheese. Some people assume they're getting enough, but in reality, they are not. A simple way to fix this is by adding a source of protein to every meal. Scrambled eggs for breakfast, a piece of fish for lunch, a handful of nuts as a snack. Small changes can make a huge difference. Another problem that sneaks up on people after 70 is dehydration. Many do not realize they are drinking less water than they should. Thirst signals become weaker with age, so by the time someone feels thirsty, they are already dehydrated. This leads to fatigue, dizziness, and even confusion. And here is something most people do not know: dehydration can make aches and pains worse. The body needs water to keep joints moving smoothly. Without it, everything feels stiffer. The answer? Drink more water. If plain water feels boring, herbal teas, broth-based soups, and water-rich foods like cucumbers and watermelon can help. The goal is to keep the body hydrated throughout the day, not just chug a glass of water when feeling parched. Then there is fiber. This is a big one. Digestion slows down with age. That is just a fact. And when digestion slows down, problems like constipation become more common. Nobody likes to talk about it, but it is something almost every older adult deals with at some point. Fiber is the best way to keep things moving. It also helps control blood sugar and keeps cholesterol levels in check. Foods rich in fiber include whole grains, beans, lentils, fruits, and vegetables. Instead of white bread, go for whole wheat. Instead of a sugary snack, eat an apple with peanut butter. Adding more fiber to meals is one of the simplest ways to improve digestion and overall health. Healthy fats are another must-have. A lot of people grew up during a time when fat was seen as the enemy. But the truth is, the right kinds of fats are essential for brain health, heart health, and joint support. Omega-3 fatty acids, found in salmon, walnuts, and flax seeds, are especially important. They help reduce inflammation, which can ease joint pain and lower the risk of heart disease. Avocados, olive oil, and nuts are also great sources of healthy fats. Instead of reaching for processed snacks, a handful of almonds or a slice of avocado on toast can make a big difference. Another food group that often gets overlooked is dairy or dairy alternatives. Bones get weaker with age. That is just how the body works. The best way to keep them strong is by making sure there is enough calcium and vitamin D in the diet. Milk, cheese, and yogurt are great options. But for those who do not consume dairy, alternatives like fortified plant-based milk, leafy greens, and almonds can help. Strong bones mean fewer falls, fewer fractures, and better mobility overall. Then there is something people often ignore: spices and herbs. As taste buds change with age, food can start feeling bland. Instead of reaching for the salt shaker, which can increase blood pressure, using spices and herbs can make meals more flavorful and even healthier. Turmeric has anti-inflammatory properties. Garlic is great for heart health. Ginger helps with digestion. A little sprinkle of these can turn an ordinary dish into something that not only tastes good, but also supports the body in all the right ways. Now, what about sweets? Sugar is everywhere. And after 70, the body does not process it as efficiently as it used to. Too much sugar can lead to weight gain, spikes in blood sugar, and increased risk of diabetes. But cutting out sweets completely is not realistic for most people. The key is to choose natural sources of sweetness. Fruits like berries, apples, and oranges provide vitamins and fiber along with their natural sugars. Instead of reaching for cookies, a bowl of berries with yogurt can satisfy a sweet tooth while still being nutritious. Hydration is not just about water. Herbal teas can be a great way to stay hydrated while also providing additional health benefits. Green tea is full of antioxidants. Chamomile tea can help with sleep. Ginger tea aids digestion. These small swaps can go a long way in improving overall well-being. At this point, someone might wonder, is it too late to start eating better? Absolutely not. The body responds to changes at any age. Even small improvements in diet can lead to more energy, better digestion, stronger muscles, and a sharper mind. It is not about making drastic changes overnight. It is about making better choices one meal at a time. Most people do not think about food as a way to stay strong and healthy. They eat out of habit, not realizing that every bite either helps or hurts their body. But after 70, every meal matters even more. Protein keeps muscles strong. Fiber keeps digestion running smoothly. Healthy fats protect the heart and brain. Hydration keeps everything functioning properly. And making small swaps, like choosing whole grains over refined ones or adding more vegetables to meals, can lead to big improvements over time. Food is not just about filling the stomach. It is fuel, and the better the fuel, the better the body runs. For anyone over 70, the best approach to eating is simple. More whole foods, more variety, more hydration, less processed junk, less sugar, less skipping meals. Eating well is one of the easiest ways to feel better, move better, and live better. It is never too late to start making choices that support a longer, healthier life. This is how poor nutrition leads to health decline after 70. Poor nutrition does not just mean eating too little. Sometimes it is about eating too much of the wrong stuff. It might start with skipping meals or relying on convenient processed foods because cooking feels like too much work. Or maybe it is about cutting back on proteins and fresh produce because grocery shopping has become exhausting. Whatever the reason, once the body stops getting the nutrients it needs, things start going downhill. When people hit 70, their bodies are not as forgiving as they used to be. Nutritional deficiencies catch up faster. A lack of protein leads to muscle loss. Too little calcium weakens bones. Not getting enough fiber makes digestion sluggish. These changes do not happen overnight. They creep up little by little until one day, it becomes clear that simple tasks like getting out of a chair or walking up a flight of stairs feel like an uphill battle. One of the sneakiest ways poor nutrition affects health is through energy levels. A diet filled with refined carbs, sugars, and unhealthy fats leads to constant fatigue. The body burns through these fast-digesting foods too quickly, creating a cycle of energy crashes. The result is feeling tired all the time. This lack of energy makes it harder to stay active. Without regular movement, the body weakens, making even the most basic activities feel overwhelming. Then there is the issue of the immune system. A well-fed body fights off infections better. When nutrition takes a back seat, so does immunity. A small cold lingers longer. A minor wound takes forever to heal. That is because vitamins like C, D, and zinc play a huge role in keeping the immune system strong. Without them, the body struggles to defend itself. Another major player in the health decline game is bone health. Bones naturally lose density with age. Without enough calcium and vitamin D, they become even more fragile. A simple fall that might have once resulted in a minor bruise now leads to a fracture. Recovery time takes longer, and in some cases, mobility is never the same again. Muscles also take a hit. Protein is the key ingredient for maintaining muscle strength. Without enough of it, muscles shrink. Less muscle means less stability. Less stability means a higher risk of falls. Suddenly, things like carrying groceries, standing up from a chair, or even holding a cup of coffee become difficult. The digestive system also has its fair share of problems. A diet lacking in fiber slows everything down, leading to constipation and discomfort. At the same time, dehydration makes these problems even worse. Many people drink less water as they age, whether it is because they do not feel as thirsty or they want to avoid too many trips to the bathroom. But the less water the body gets, the harder digestion becomes. And then there is the brain. The brain needs good fats, vitamins, and minerals to stay sharp. When the diet is filled with empty calories and lacks essential nutrients, memory starts slipping. Focus becomes harder. Mental clarity fades. The risk of conditions like dementia increases. A steady supply of omega-3 fatty acids, B vitamins, and antioxidants helps keep the brain in top shape. Without them, cognitive decline speeds up. Heart health is another area that takes a hit. Too much sodium, unhealthy fats, and sugar put extra strain on the heart. This leads to high blood pressure, clogged arteries, and an increased risk of heart attacks or strokes. A heart-healthy diet filled with lean proteins, whole grains, and fresh produce keeps things running smoothly. But when nutrition falls short, the heart pays the price. Mood is another surprising victim of poor nutrition. Food affects how people feel emotionally. A diet filled with processed foods and sugar leads to mood swings, irritability, and even depression. The brain needs steady fuel to maintain balance. When it does not get the right nutrients, it struggles to regulate emotions. Now, let's talk about something that is often overlooked: social interaction. Poor nutrition often leads to a lack of energy, weaker muscles, and a decline in overall well-being. This makes it harder to go out, meet friends, or even enjoy hobbies. The less someone interacts with others, the more isolated they become. And loneliness has its own negative effects on health, making everything feel worse. Hydration is another big factor. Many people drink less water as they age, but dehydration can cause dizziness, confusion, and even kidney problems. It can also make the skin dry and fragile. Staying hydrated helps with digestion, keeps the skin looking healthier, and ensures that organs function properly. Vision and hearing also rely on good nutrition. A lack of vitamin A can make night vision worse. Not getting enough omega-3 fatty acids increases the risk of age-related eye problems. Even hearing loss can be linked to poor nutrition. So what can be done? Eating a balanced diet does not have to be complicated. Simple changes make a big difference. Adding more fresh fruits and vegetables to meals, choosing lean proteins, staying hydrated, and avoiding processed foods help the body function better. Small steps lead to big improvements. Poor nutrition after 70 is not just about feeling sluggish or gaining a little weight. It is about quality of life. It affects energy, strength, immunity, heart health, brain function, mood, and even social life. Taking care of nutrition is one of the best ways to maintain independence and enjoy the years ahead. Most people think aging is just about luck or genetics. And while those things do play a role, lifestyle choices matter even more. The difference between someone who stays strong well into their 80s and someone who struggles to make it past 70 often comes down to simple daily habits. Move more, stay connected, eat well. These are the 3 pillars of a long and healthy life. And the best part? It is never too late to start. If you like today's discussion, don't forget to like the video. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, hit the subscribe button and the bell icon to stay updated with every video we release. And yes, don't forget to share your experiences and thoughts in the comments. Every comment is special to us. Your feedback helps us improve further. We'll continue to meet you in every new video on this channel. So until next time, take care.